In the last lecture, we have seen the ecological succession. Okay, we know what is succession and how the succession proceeds, the steps we have already seen. Now we are going to see the two types of successions, primary succession and secondary succession. In that, first we will see the primary succession, and in that there are two types of succession measured. One is the Zeeraj succession and another one is the Hydrarch succession. First we will see the Zeeraj succession. Zeeraj succession means what? The succession takes place at a area where negligible amount of water is present. Okay, on your screen you can see one picture where the Zeeraj succession is shown. Okay, in that we know that in the succession, the species which start the succession is called as pioneer species, and the species which ends the succession and remains stable there, it is called as the climax species or climax communities. So in this picture you can see there is a pioneer stages, there is a intermediate stages, and there is a climax stage. Okay, there are some steps of the plants because this succession takes place in the plants. So you can see some steps in this picture. So Zeeraj succession start with the rocky area, or we can call it as in the rocks. Okay, you know, on the rocks there is no water, there is no nutrients, and there is no any type of soil is present. So how the succession takes place here? The succession takes place on the rocks. It is called as Zeeraj succession. So first is nothing but the pioneer species. On the rocks, only one species is going to be survived, that is nothing but the lichens. These are the only living things which are going to survive on that rocky area. Lichens is what? Lichens is nothing but the combination of algae and fungi. Okay, algae is a plant. Okay, it is helping to the fungi for the food purpose, and fungi helps to the algae by giving them moisture. Plants need moisture for growth, so it gives moisture to the plants or for the algae, and algae gives food to the fungi. So mutualism is there. We have already seen the mutualism is there. So lichens, what they are going to do to survive there? Okay, lichens are going to secrete some of the secretions, and by that secretions the weathering of rock takes place. Again, there are some natural weathering of rock takes place due to some cold and heat conditions. Okay, weathering of rock takes place where there is a breakdown of large type of rocks are there, and there are some particles formation is there. So weathering of rocks by that lichen secretion, it going to resulting into make some of the soil particles, very few soil particles. Okay, now the condition is changed. From the rocks there are some few soil particles are there. Now on that soil particles there are some kinds of the organisms they are going to survive. So next stage, okay, where along with the lichens there are some of the bryophytes they are going to survive. Bryophytes, they hold the small amount of soil particle and they are going to survive on that condition. Okay, now condition is changed. Along with lichens there is bryophytes. Again, that lichens are going to secrete some of the secretions. Then again there is a formation of soil takes place. In the primary succession, formation of soil is very much important, and it takes many of years for the soil formation. Okay, so by using the bryophytes and the lichens there is a formation of another soil takes place. So soil formation is expanded in that stage. After some conditions, after some time, the condition is again changed. There is a more soil is present. Now more soil, so another living organisms are going to survive there. So along with the lichens, bryophytes, that bryophytes are going to replace by some of the gymnosperms and angiosperms, where some flowering fruit plants are there. Bryophytes, now condition changed, so species is going to change. Progress is there. Okay, so bryophytes and gymnosperms and angiosperms are there. Now these plants are going to survive there. Okay, now condition is changed. So when organic matters of such plants are going to dead organic matter, going to make the dead organic, after the plant is going to die, the dead organic matter is miscible into the soil. So nutrients are there, by rainfall water is there, and soil formation is taking place. So now the favorable condition for the plants. So there are some annual plants or herbs are there. Now again condition changed, then perennial plants or shrubs. Now shrubs are little more taller than that of the herbs. Okay, small plants, grasses. From that, the large trees, shrubs trees are there that are going to grow there. And finally, when favorable conditions are there, rainfall is there, soil is there, nutrients are there, finally there are formation or there is a growth of the tall plants takes place. Taller plants on the forest you can see. Okay. So this is nothing but the last stage of the xerox succession called as climax community. Now that tall trees are going to change into the forest. Okay, lot of tall trees, there are shrubs, there are herbs, there are grasses. It will make an forest, which is nothing but the final climax community or stage. Now from the xerox very dry condition, we are making the forest condition. So xeric condition to the mesic condition. We have seen that diagram. Okay, negligible water to moderate amount of water. This is nothing but the xerox succession. Now second type of succession is called as hydrarch succession. Now it is exactly opposite to the xerox succession, where plenty of water is present at the starting of the succession. You can take the example of newly formed lake, where no plants are there, only water is present. A deep area is there and water is present. Okay, this is called as hydrarch succession. Here is also pioneer species. Phytoplanktons are nothing but the pioneer species. On that water first stage, there are majorly 7 steps in the hydrarch succession. First stage is the pioneer species, that is phytoplankton stage. Phytoplanktons are the first pioneer species. Okay, there in the water phytoplanktons. Now that phytoplants are going to grow and grow. After that, okay, after some time, there is a change takes place due to that phytoplanktons. So by that change, there is another species going to grow there. Okay, this stage, second stage is called as submerged rooted plants. Okay, plant stage. What are these? These are the plants which is rooted at the bottom of that water body. Okay, and it is submerged into the water. So such type of plants firstly grow there. Okay, you can see in the picture second stage, submerged plant stage, where that type of plants are there. For example, hydrilla, it is a submerged plant. Okay, after some time, when dead organic matter of that species, it is going to miscible into that area, there is a layer of the soil is going to increase there and water level is going to decrease. Okay, because the bottom is going to increase, it comes upper and upper, so water level is going to be decreased. Okay, from the bottom. Okay, now the next stage is the rooted floating and free floating stage. Rooted floating, these are nothing but some of the lotus type of plants where their roots are embedded in the bottom, but the flowers or leaves are going to float on the water. And there are some examples of floating plants, only floating plant. Pistia is an example for that. So such type of plants are going to add into that water body. So rooted submerged, again free floating, and rooted free floating. Rooted floating species are there. This is the third type of stage. Now conditions are changed. Again soil, when dead organic matter are going to be miscible, then again the level of soil is going to increase. Now different type of plants are going to added there, and that stage is called as reed swamp stage. You can see the picture, reed swamp stage. The example is nothing but the addition of typha like plants. Okay, so you can see the picture, there are rooted sub plants. It is going to then again in that condition, these first plants are going to disappear and new plants are going to add, and it will increase the soil area in that water bodies. Okay, reed swamp stage. Then again after some time the climatic changes are there, time again changes, so that the stage is also going to change. That is called as marsh meadow stage. Marsh stage where in the water lot of soil is going to added and it becomes a muddy area. Okay, marshy area we can call it. So this stage is there where from hydric we are coming to the marshy area, and now in that condition special type of plants are going to grow there. Okay, cyperus type of plants, it is going to grow on that marsh meadow conditions where plenty of water, plenty of soil is present, and on that water is available in same quantity. So it becomes muddy or marshy area. And now when that plants are going to absorb water from that condition, then the water level is going to decrease and the soil level is going to increase. And finally, at the sixth stage, scrub stage is there. On that totally water, you cannot see the water level there. There is a marshy area where water is present, but not that much. Okay, and there are some plants are growing from the soil level to upwards, and these are some shrubs. There are some tall trees are also. This is called as the scrub stage. And finally it is going to change into the forest, which is nothing but the climax stage of that hydra succession. So in that all hydra succession, you must understand that from the phytoplankton stage to the climax stage, the level of water is going to decrease and decrease, and the level of the soil is going to increase and increase. So again here, from plenty of water to the moderate water, from hydric condition to the mesic condition. Okay, water is more, so it is going to decrease up to the climax community. So here we have seen both the type of successions, hydras and xeras succession. The final result is nothing but the mesic condition, or we can call it as moderate water condition, where the climax community is nothing but the forest, and it is going to stable until the environmental changes takes place. Okay, so if it is negligible water where no water is there, and if the condition is like that where plenty of water is present, the resulting succession into the forest condition, mesic condition where moderate amount of water is present. This is about the primary succession, secondary succession, and some environmental ecosystem services we are going to see in the next lecture.